I'm your mayor of PHNX, occasionally known as Derek Montilla. He's your vice mayor of these parts. He's also known as Jesse Friedman. We are here to tell you all the reasons why you should absolutely be watching the World Baseball Classic. This is a tournament unlike we've ever seen, and the reason why we say that is I don't think we've ever had this level of involvement from Major League Baseball stars in the history of this tournament.
It's incredible. Yeah, I mean, we've talked a lot about the Team USA roster, the Dominican Republic roster. It's absolutely insane. I mean, it's like, I don't know if the NL All-Stars and AL All-Stars will even compare to those two teams. It's really incredible.
Or more importantly, the level of competition, right? Because we've talked about all the great storylines. The Czech Republic team alone is worth the price of admission, considering that in this tournament filled with major league stars and baseball players that are professional athletes from around the world, you just have this everyman team from the Czech Republic of doctors and lawyers and mechanics and all sorts of
school teachers,
all sorts of occupations that aren't major league baseball players. And in fact, we talked about it on the show a bit, but the Czech Republic really hasn't had much of a professional baseball history. So it's just an incredible story to watch, and who knows how far they go. They had a kind of a unexpected entry into the tournament by beating one of the bigger teams out there. So we already had some fantastic games, including Italy versus Cuba that went into 10 innings, and Team Japan is an absolute monster, and we will be very interested to see. We talk, like Jesse said, about Team USA and the Dominican Republic, some of the other teams, but I think that we haven't given Team Japan the credit where credit is due.
Yeah, if you look at the DraftKings Sportsbook app, I think Team Japan is right behind the US and the Dominican Republic as far as who people are betting on to win the entire thing. So, they're certainly right there. Shohei Ohtani looked pretty decent in his.
Do it all.
4 scoreless innings, and I think he went 2 for 4 with a double and a single or something in that game. I mean, obviously he's going to put on a show, but even locally here, talking about the Diamondbacks, they have certainly a lot of involvement, not only with Team USA, but across the entire thing. We've got Alek Thomas playing for Team Mexico, Merrill Kelly playing for Team USA, Ketel Marte, Dominican Republic, Emmanuel Rivera, Puerto Rico. We saw some guys playing for Team Italy in some pretty big moments.
Dominic Fletcher had the actual game-winning double, essentially, that put Italy ahead in 10 innings over Team Cuba. And Cuba, that's another team that honestly hasn't had the best of luck, but they have a very good team that they've assembled. I think the main thing about this tournament is, again, going back to what I said earlier, you just don't see this level of involvement from superstars around Major League Baseball, especially around this time of the year. It's spring training. A lot of these guys are still getting ready for the regular season, which is extremely long and something to think about when you are considering participating in a tournament like this. I just feel like the level of competition is very high, and I feel like it's going to be a very exciting showdown to watch come down to who wins it.
Yeah. I mean, no knock on Cactus League baseball, right? We love some Cactus League baseball really around here, but there's something about these WBC games and just how much the players care, how much the fans in the stands care. I know we've seen some smaller crowds in the early going, but those crowds are going to get bigger and bigger as this thing continues. We know that Team USA versus Team Mexico on Sunday is already sold out at Chase Field. So if you're hoping to go to that, unfortunately, it's going to be pretty tough to get a ticket at this point. But there's nothing like it this time of year. These are baseball games that mean probably more than regular season baseball games. So if you want some high leverage baseball at a time when you're not really used to getting it, the WBC is the way to go.
I like how so many parents or so many players are doing it for their parents, right?
Yeah.
I like that. That's a big thing. We saw Freddie Freeman. We know Alek Thomas, and speaking to him, that was a big influence on that. But I also love the support of the teams and the managers for these players to participate in this. This completely screws up their schedule and everything that these teams are trying to do.
I wish they could play it at a different time.
Yeah, it really do, right? I mean, obviously, we know the offseason for baseball is the shortest offseason of any sport. But yeah, it would be nice to maybe get these games in like late November, maybe December instead of this time of the year, just because it really does impact, the baseball season. we had Alec Thomas on the show, and again, he talked to us a bit about, of course, that he just feels kind of ready. And I know a lot of guys that are participating in this tournament were out before they were required to be out, at training camps with their teams just to get prepared early for this. And we talked a bit about the Diamondbacks as a team kind of being expedited due to the number of players they have participating in the WBC. But it's just a fantastic thing for baseball, really, at the end of the day. I feel like, this tournament hasn't always gotten the love it deserved. It's
not the World Cup.
Yeah,
it's getting there. It's kind of getting there.
We're trying to get
We're trying to get it there.
So come on, watch it. But like Jesse said, the atmosphere at Chase Field is going to be electric. And if you have a ticket to that Team USA, Team Mexico matchup, consider yourself lucky, because that's going to be quite the environment to watch a baseball game. Probably something we haven't seen at Chase Field since like 2017.
Pretty incredible. Pretty incredible. Should be a great thing to watch.
Any final thoughts on why these people should watch the WBC, Jesse?
I just think, it's just like, if you're a baseball fan, it's the best baseball that you can watch right now, right? I think, some of these games are going to be on Fox, like big national Fox, not just like FS1 or something.
Definitely reminds me of watching the KBO, because I'm up at 6 o'clock. In the morning
the game times can be a little funky, so you might have to sacrifice some things with your sleep schedule.
That makes it fun.
But it will be worth it. There's nothing better than watching live baseball at like midnight, it's like midday at the place where the game is happening. It's incredible.
It's incredible. Well, we will be watching, and we hope you are too. Make sure to keep it locked right here to PHNX for more updates on both the World Baseball Classic and the Arizona Diamondbacks.